happening?
Oh, baby, a triple! Oh, yeah!
Hey guys, how's it going? Grindtastic Games, and today I'm doing something a little bit different. So, I'm not actually going to talk about the game at all. Uh, I wanted to talk more about just general life. Because the simple fact is, I'm not going to be able to give you guys anything that the other guys aren't going to be able to give. And whenever it comes down to how I feel about a weapon or a Titan, I can give you my personal opinion. But if you're really looking for hard-hitting stats or something like that, you've got Dino, you've got Tony Mo, and you've got Iniquity. And they're really the three kings that I know of. There's also Jaredude. I'm not sure. Jaredude's kind of. I know him for his one-on-ones. It may just be my mental, uh, you know, relation or whatever. But that's what I think of whenever I think of Jaredude. But anyways, so even Butterbar has his like ability things, the Titan or the pilot abilities. So there's all that stuff. So this is a video from one of my streams, so that's why you're not hearing anything. I was playing music like before, and I was playing with one of my viewers of the stream. So if you want to play and party up, it'll tend to be on like Saturdays that I do this, but everyone's welcome. That's the real point. I don't care what weapon you use or anything, but it's be on the lookout on weekends. That's basically the point. So, anyways, today I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about just simply being a friend to other people, because you never really know who's gonna turn on to be what, or how things are going to go in life. You don't know who needs help, who doesn't, or anything like that. Because, for example, there's stories of people who just needed some help or needed a friend or things like that and weren't able to get them. So, just kind of if you're a friend to people, then you can pretty much count on the idea of that person being a friend back when you need it. So, needless to say, I will have a personal story now. Just kind of, rounding it out that there's more than just the idea of getting something out of it. There is the idea that you can, like, even if you're not going to get something out of it, you being friends with someone is it should feel good that you're able to make someone smile or make someone feel better about their day just by being you. So, with that, I kind of have a story about my life. So, it's kind of awkward to talk about, but I was having some trouble with depression in high school because of the simple fact that I didn't have a I wasn't popular. I didn't have a ton of friends and whatnot. So I was often an outcast kind of individual in school. I was nerdy, I was super dorky, I had all these things that just kind of ostracize you. You don't fit in with the popular kids, at least whenever I was in high school, unless you had a fashion sense and had the ability to really um, fit the bill of what's expected. High School Musical style. Like it's important that you know exactly what to say when and can talk to everyone. But that wasn't me. So with me, I was the nerdy kid who watched TV and watched nerdy shows specifically, and basically my entire life growing up, I watched the shows that were on Toonami, Dragon Ball Z, Gundam, some Full Metal Alchemist, all the different westernized animes, quote unquote. I'm gonna say westernized animes, but honestly, it's still anime. It's just more common in the West. But I just was super nerdy and everything. So, needless to say, I didn't really fit in with people. I was a robotics club person. I spent my free time working on robots. You can't get nerdier than that. So, I built robots for 3 years in high school. Uh, I know, super nerdy, and you know, as a high schooler, I let that affect me. But now I look at it and I go, so what? I built robots. That's actually kind of cool. So screw it. Um, but the idea is, I wasn't this crazy, awesome uh, person who was super popular with the girls and the other guys. I wasn't invited to be a member of the top clubs. I wasn't a student council individual or anything like that. And whenever people accepted my nerdiness and accepted me being me, it was a huge deal because it didn't happen all the time. So I kind of have this point in my junior year ish period where I have a friend who's a pretty good guy. He's a really awesome, and he had a shindig every month basically, where he had a party where uh, at the end of his senior year, his party reached 250 students showing up just to party and hang out. This is the same person that Butterbar and I would go to parties at his house and have homemade pizza from his parents and play Halo until like 4 a.m. at night. So it was a very good time. Um, and needless to say, it was just a big thing for someone like me to be able to get this experience because I was struggling with a depression that stemmed from me not being really accepted in social circles. I probably asked out girls once a month and got rejected every single time. Everything that could have happened, to bring down someone's self-esteem was happening to me. And I had also been struggling from like a self-esteem thing where I just never really felt like my dad was proud of me because I was such a nerdy kid. Well, my dad still to this day holds wrestling records in Missouri in the high school level. So with that, it's kind of like I'm struggling to feel like I make my dad proud because I'm so nerdy, and it just all culminated into depression that was pretty deep. I'm not going to get too much into that because that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is how being a friend to someone is a huge, huge thing as a human being. But uh, so my friend has these parties regularly, and everyone comes out and has a good time and relaxes and has uh, root beer and Sprite and all these things. They didn't do caffeine. The family didn't. So, there wasn't any Dr. Pepper or Coke. If you brought your own, that was fine, but they didn't buy it. So, it was this huge thing. And I just remember one of these times that I was super depressed. This was before I met my now wife. But one of these times I was super depressed, and this was right when the 360 and Oblivion came out. And I'm sitting there at this party, kind of. I'm well known enough to get invited, but I'm still so nerdy or whatever that I can't really. I'm not the person that people come to talk to and whatnot. So I'm at this party hanging out, and I'm not really talking to people. And then this person comes along, brings their Xbox 360, and pops in Oblivion. And I had been playing Morrowind for a long time. It was one of my favorite games. And so I just kind of sat there and I watched this person play their Oblivion game for a few hours, and they were hooked on it, and I was hooked on watching them play it. And just kind of, it felt like whenever I would sit with my brother and we would play Legend of Zelda or Star Fox or Super Mario 64. And with that, it kind of brought me out of a little bit of my depression, and uh, it, it forms this friendship and this bond that I still remember to this day. So, uh, needless to say, I'd like to say thanks, Butter. That day, I'm sure you don't even remember it, but it was a big deal to me. So, if you liked the video, please be a friend, hit the subscribe button, or click on one of the other two videos, and I'll see you next time. Peace, guys.